Hey y'all, welcome back to Wellness Wednesday. We're back with another round, and I have a special guest. Frank in the city is here with me.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for
So,
having me.
Frank, aka Daniel, is a really good friend of mine. We graduated from Howard together, both social workers. So, just wanted to bring him here to have a quick conversation about how do we manage like protecting our own energy while also like maintaining relationships, because a lot of times y'all have heard me say a lot of times about boundaries and protecting your energy, but I don't really talk about the importance of maintaining and cherishing relationships with good people in your lives. And I feel like a lot of times people kind of have this black or white thinking, like it's either I'm gonna have no boundaries and just kind of just give my all to people without protecting myself, or I'm just gonna protect myself so much that I'm closed up and I don't have, space for other people in my life. So let's chat about it. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that is really important. I think me and Bria really started having these conversations, and she really got my brain like thinking about it, like how much energy and time I give to other people, especially with boundaries, because people really will like exceed those boundaries. They will like really try you, and it's all about like, okay, well, you have to ask yourself like, okay, I kind of allowed them to be able to do that because I gave them this much of me. Especially when it comes to like relationships. I was about to cuss.
Please don't.
Especially when it comes to relationships, and some people really just want to be in your space, and once they have, drained you of all of your energy, they're just gone on to the next person because you can't even help them, and you're left with an empty cup. Like,
you cannot pour from an empty cup.
okay,
These
nothing.
are facts. So that's a really great point. I think that it's very important that for us to manage our own energy and to really protect our energy, because a lot of times, especially as we get older, we carry a lot of patterns that we've had from like when we're younger in different relationships, and then when we get older and we start having like actual like intimate relationships with people, we carry those same patterns and we don't really check them, and then we wind up like in this cycle where just letting people in. I know I've been there for sure, just letting people in and kind of like taking advantage of us.
Yes.
And it gets draining, and then you look up and you're like, oh, wait a minute now. Like I'm saying, okay, this is everybody else coming in doing this, but I need to check myself.
Right.
And I need to check like what I'm doing.
Yes.
But on the flip side of that, something that I wanted to talk about was how do we really make sure that we are cherishing the important relationships in our lives while having those boundaries, because a lot of times I think that for me at least I can be someone who is like an all or nothing. Like I say this all the time, I don't really have a middle point. That's something I'm really working on. But
no, you don't.
I don't need that negativity, okay? So anyway, I don't really have a middle point, and when it comes to people, it's either like I'm all in or I'm like absolutely not. But when it comes to people that you love and you cherish, like everybody has their downfalls, everybody has their things about them, and you have to figure out like how can I navigate with this person to make sure that our relationship stays intact while still making sure that I have my boundaries. And so I just wanted to bring Frank to talk about tips that we can provide that we've learned along the way that can kind of help you do that. So one of the big things that I've learned how to do, it sounds easier than doing it, is saying no.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important, especially when it comes to people that you love or people that are really close to you that are used to kind of having open access to you. And for me, at a point you just get tired, and it's just like, what, as much as I want to do this, as much as I want to be there, I have my peace of mind comes first. Like I have to protect me first. And so saying no is a really big thing for me. What about you?
I think really knowing and actually like evaluating myself has really helped me, because I know what my peace of mind looks like now. So that's all I'm like, once people start like shifting that thinking and things like that, I know like it's something off, and we either need to have a conversation to see where we're going wrong. But once I feel like my peace of mind is, you're not giving me peace, I can't do it. And I have to cut it off. I'm kind of like you with that. Like if it's about my peace and my space and my energy, and you're contaminating, you gotta go. Because I can't really because I know what it feels like not to be at peace. I've been there before. I've been there for a very long time.
Yes.
It's not somewhere that once you find your peace, it's like you're not willing to go back to having people disrupt your peace. Like, it's not okay. It's not something that you're even going to be wanting to deal with, because it's like, for what?
For what? That is a big thing. So another tip that I thought about is for people like me that can kind of have like that black or white thinking when we're talking about really like our boundaries. Something to really keep in mind is that everybody is not your enemy. We live in like the social media age where everybody has these mythical people that are like hating on them or coming for them, and it's like,
I got my haters.
Are they, or are these just people that you made up in your mind because you perceive that way? You just kind of have that energy around you, and this is not always the case. Like, everybody is not your enemy. Like, simmer down a little bit and take a couple of steps back to just reevaluate, because sometimes we can get really worked up within ourselves and in our own energy, to be honest, and we just start making stuff up.
Oh yeah, that's really true. I'd be like, girl, what are you talking about? That makes no sense.
So it's like, you gotta pipe down a little bit. And then, what was that last tip I had? I don't forget.
I don't know, but you made me think of something when you said that. I really took a step. For me, I started noticing a change in the relationships I was having with people, whether that was friendships or anything like that. I noticed a change when I started working on myself and really started focusing on how I came off to people. What energy do you feel when I come around? Are you feeling happiness? Are you feeling love? Like, what vibe do I exude when I come in the room? And when I started changing that, I started attracting more of the right kind of people that were worthy of my space and worthy of my time. So a lot of times you just got to do a self-check and say, a lot of this, I be cussing. A lot of these things around me aren't making sense. And, sometimes you have to do a self-check and say, what kind of energy am I exuding to attract these people into my space? So self-check is important.
Check yourself, boo. You wreck yourself, boo.
Period.
All right, y'all. So that's it for Wellness Wednesday. It's really important. Yep. Yes. I keep it short and sweet. People have a very short attention span. So that's it for Wellness Wednesday. We hope you learned something. Again, just really think about how you can manage your energy, protect your peace while managing relationships, because nobody can do it alone.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Maybe I'll be back.
Be well.